Hey, Coach, how you doing today?
I'm doing good, Ken.
Maybe just tell us how the summer camp has gone. We're obviously interested in the development of the quarterback position. We're talking about the offensive linemen and
Mhm.
slot backs and receivers. Maybe give us an overview.
Yeah, so there's been great excitement, as there should be. As much work as the guys have put in over the summer, and just getting ready. The thing I've been really encouraged by is I feel like we're better than where we left off in the spring. I feel like our guys, the work they put in this summer and the player-led practices and in the weight room has really shown. And so we didn't pick up where we left off. I think that they've elevated some things that we really needed to work on. And so that was exciting, first and foremost. The attitude's been great, as it always is. But it seems like there's a resolve to really improve and maybe a little bit of a chip on our shoulder, hopefully so far. And just excited to see how we continue to develop. As far as the quarterback situation, that's always what everybody wants to talk about. I think we have some really capable guys. I continue to be really impressed with the way that they function as a unit. Even though there's really only one of them that can go into the game at any given time, unless we decide to, play one of them somewhere else in a package or something. But they're so unselfish and so supportive of one another. And literally, I don't think there's any way that we go through the season where we just play one of them. I think that would be a disservice to our team. They have different skill sets. They're all fully functional, though, at this time in all facets of our offense. They can all execute anything we need to run. And that wasn't the case last year necessarily due to experience only and just the repetitions that they lacked in certain areas. And so we played it close to the vest and, on a lot of things. But this year I feel like we have an opportunity to run more execution plays, more read plays, and hopefully open some things up, due to that. And so, but there's a great competition going on, and they continue to battle, and each one of them wants to be the starter. Someone will take the first snap, but I can tell you, I would be shocked if one guy played every snap in any game this season.
Are there elements of the quarterback position that you really look at in trying to select who's moving up the depth chart?
Well, we need a guy there that hates to lose. First of all, he's got to be the most competitive person on the team, and leadership's a big thing. I think they're all really good leaders. They lead in their own way. Some guys are more emotional and more vocal, maybe, but they all have those qualities. And you need a guy that's confident in there when he steps into the huddle that his teammates are expecting to score, not hoping to score. And I think if they bring that air about them into the huddle, that it really helps rub off on the other guys that are supporting them. So, that's something I feel really good about as well. It's just going to be a matter of execution, Ken, like who's executing the best, who gives us the best chance to win. It could be different from week to week. It could be different from quarter to quarter, situation to situation. We're really working hard, and they are too. They're preparing for whatever we need. There's no way to make a plan for who's going to do what at this time. We haven't played our first snap yet.
Thanks, Coach.
Yep.
Ken McMullen.
Hey, Brent, how are you?
Doing well. How you doing, Ken?
Doing well. Hey, Brent, to stay on the quarterback question, tell me about the use of the quarterbacks in other positions. Jeff just spoke about it, that, you'll put people where they best belong, especially if they're not getting, PT at the starting or backup role.
Well, one of the things that's unique about our offense is that we're going to recruit athletes at the quarterback position, and a lot of times they can play other places. Their skill set, we rarely take a quarterback that we don't feel like could play somewhere else, because if they couldn't play somewhere else, they're probably not the quarterback that we want either, to be honest with you. And because the skill sets that we need athletes, guys that are dynamic with the ball, decision makers, guys that could be good point guards, and then basketball, if they play basketball, as a lot of them do. So I think that sets us apart from maybe a conventional offense where you recruit a quarterback, and if he's not the quarterback, he transfers somewhere else unless he's big enough to move to tight end or something, and we've got one of those who was a quarterback in high school. Then he moved to tight end. Now he's a tackle for us, but we kind of knew that going in. He never played a snap of quarterback here, but that so sometimes that happens. But yeah, I think that's an advantage that we have. I think it's difficult to cross-train a guy and say, okay, you're going to be the backup quarterback, and you're also going to play slot back or something like that in the same game or same week. We have done that before, but I don't think you can do that until you've got a couple of years under your belt at quarterback, and already have a knowledge of the other position due to your knowledge at quarterback. Playing quarterback, you should really have a knowledge of all 11 and what they do on any given play. And Coach Worley does a great job of making sure that they have a great understanding of the overall scheme. So that makes those guys more versatile for sure. We had Tyler playing slot back the week before we moved him to quarterback because of our quarterback situation and injury and illness, getting ready for the UTSA game. And it was phenomenal. He was able to move back in 1 week and play as well as he did in that game. And like Coach Munkin probably said, Cade Ballard was on the scout team the week before, before he played that game. So it was a unique year in that. But really, when you look back on it, those trials have really kind of helped us develop the depth that we have now. And so we're really excited about that.
Brent, I mean, you tell me if I'm wrong here, but the offensive coordinators and head coaches, especially here at Army, you prep one quarterback to start a game and probably play throughout the game and then have your backup ready to go in. This seems to be a change in mindset because of the richness of depth you have. What kind of a adjustment to your own mindset and your own prep work is it for you to go into a game with maybe playing 2, 3, 4 quarterbacks?
Right. That's a great question. It's the hardest thing, Ken, is to get them reps during the week, to be honest, because there's only so many to go around. Well, if you're the guy that's going to play the majority of the snaps, we want to make sure you give them different looks. Okay, this is going to be a play we're going to run this week. We want to give you the 6 possibilities, so that you can react in the game where you've already played the game on Tuesday and Wednesday. And when you start spreading those reps out, it makes it very difficult. So, what you can end up doing is, not having guys as prepared as they could be. So I think you have to maybe have a set of plays for each guy going in. It may change from week to week, but hey, this is what we're going to major in with you. And then you get the rest of the reps from their drill work and individual. And so they can function with the whole offense, but there's just no way to get them the amount of reps equal. You've got to go in and say, okay, we got to go ahead and give this guy the most. And then there's no way we're going to split the reps between 5 guys over the course of a week of practice. And we don't want to practice 4 hours a day. And you can't anyway, by NCAA rules, you get 20 hours a week. So that's going to be a big part of it, is figuring out how to prepare with that many guys. And so we've got to do a great job as coaches of managing that and making sure we're splitting the reps in the right places.
But you also want to protect against showing your hand too. If you got the running quarterback and you got the passing quarterback, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know that it won't be that. I mean, we're aware of that for sure. And that's one thing, maybe last year that was the case a little bit, but we also had the quarterback that could run replays and the one that couldn't. So those guys have worked really hard. And again, that was just a repetition thing, not an ability thing. The center quarterback exchange was with 5 guys that played last year and 4 that started. That was an issue in and of itself, and we held our breath at times for that. And the fact those guys were able to make that work with 5 different guys and played 2 different centers, that to me that was incredible. We had other teams that we played had a similar quarterback situation and won 2 or 3 games.
Thanks, Brian.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Charles Grievous next.
Yes, good afternoon, Coach Davis.
Hey, Chucky, how you doing?
I'm doing well. You have several young, talented offensive weapons. Personally, I think it's safe to say that Robinson at slot and Austin at receiver, unique talents. Now that they have 1 year under their belts, do you anticipate being more creative in how you utilize their talents this season and perhaps moving away from the more standard triple option calls?
We're going to do what we do. Our job is also to take advantage of the guys that that we have and make sure that, the guys that can do things with the ball, have opportunity to touch the ball. It would make sense not to do that. In Tyrell's case, he played a lot of football last year. He was just an athlete making plays. Okay. And Coach Wall did a great job getting him ready. But from where he was last year to where he is now in terms of fundamentals and knowledge of the position and things like that, night and day. He's a way more of a complete player now. He's a better route runner. He understands the blocking schemes better. He's a better blocker, just more mature. Not that he was ever immature, but he's just developing. And so I think he's continuing to get better and better. Excited about him. There's a lot of different ways we can use him. All right, and we will. Isaiah Austin, people forget he played very little football last year, Charles. I mean, very little. He just happened to make plays when he did get to play. And then he wasn't really available in the spring. So he's still developing. So, for us to say, okay, we're going to come in and we're going to target that guy. I mean, he's developing and we're very excited about him. I think it's unfair right now to just put those expectations on him. He's just got to continue to work and develop, and he has a chance to be outstanding as well.
Great. And my final question, can you talk a little bit about how you're managing the offensive line, meaning trying to find the right mix with these guys?
Sure. Well, again, due to COVID and things that happened last year, we played more guys than we probably ever had, right? So even though it was painful at times last year, where we couldn't get a solid 5 in there week to week to week to week, we had a lot of changes. We developed a lot of depth. And so I think even though we lost 4 players that played a lot of football that started for us, I think that I feel really good about the sum of the parts this year. And the ability for us to have more guys ready and to be better. That's a projection. That's what we're capable of. But I do think those guys are going to put in the work to get where they need to get to. And we'd love to play 10 guys. I mean, Coach Tuatelli and I have always said, like, if we could ever have it be like a hockey line and just have line 1 and line 2 and send 5 new guys in there, man, that's what we want. Sometimes it's hard to pull the trigger on that with a center, and send a new center in there. It's just the operation of things. But, we definitely want to play as many guys as we can. Feel really good about it. Got 2 young guys that were able to start games as freshmen last year on the offensive line, and Connor Finucane and Booby Laws. And, they're very talented in the sense that they're a good fit for what we do. And they're both smart football players, and they have a chance to continue to develop to be really good. We moved Connor Finucane out to tackle. Just wanted a little bit more punch on the edge and maybe a little more size. I think that's going to be a really productive move for him and for us. And then Jordan Booby is at the other tackle, where he played a lot last year. And the guard box, we got great competition. 3-way rotation, kind of between Dean Powell and Mason Kolicek and Noah Knapp, kind of battling for 2 spots. And then we got some guys coming on. You look at one tackle, we got Cam Holloway, who's been hurt some, but has played some football, who can be a good player for us. And then Shane Buckingham, we're extremely excited about, who was a quarterback turned tight end, turned offensive tackle.
Wow.
And really if we continue to work, has a chance to play a lot of football as well. So excited about some young guys. And I heard Coach mention Jackson Filipowicz and Bo Lombardi. Those are grinders, state champion wrestlers with balance and strong and just incredible work ethics. So they're all good fits. So I really like the group as a whole, their work ethic and their attitude. And I think we got a chance to have really good depth.
Great. Thanks, Brenty.
Yes, sir.
Sal, if you're ready.
Hey, Brent, how are you?
Hey, how's it going? Just Sal?
Yeah, how are you, Brent?
Good, man.
I have a question. Just a couple players just wanted to ask you about. One is Anthony Atkins and just kind of what you're seeing in him from spring to now preseason. It seems like, with the fullback stable you have. There's a lot of depth there, and seeing if he's ready to kind of make that next step, so to speak.
Well, first of all, you're at the beach and we're in the middle of camp. Am I right in saying that? Couldn't hear you. You went out. That's all right. But no, the A train, Anthony Atkins is, we're extremely excited about him. He had a great, outstanding summer. Changed his body, very trim. Still, he's down to about 245. When I say down, I mean he was close to 270 pounds, and he was one of the fastest combo guys, linebacker, B-back type guys in the summer, where they basically timed every drill they did and how fast they're running. He's hungry, and that's a crowded position in terms of depth, which is awesome. And so we want to find ways to involve him, and really excited about his development. But he's faster and leaner and healthy for the first time in a while.